Yes. Okay. Okay. Set to go. Got a decent light, boo. Got a decent light. Oh, get things going. It's coming. Yeah. They always hiding Gadite. All right. Notes. Shalom, 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 shalom. Children of the true and living power. Shalom. Back again. Hopefully we don't have no crazy episodes. Shalom, beloved brother. Hopefully we don't have no crazy episodes. YouTube, Facebook. No interruptions on this edification. Most High willing. You know, giving all praises, glory, and honor to the true and living power, the eternal Father. Glory and honor as well goes to the beloved, beautiful Ruach, the Holy Torah, our mother. And for the standard of what a big brother is supposed to be and what a big brother looks like, the great Prince Michael. So, all that being said, another lesson brought to you from the house of Yosef, from the house of truth. This is your brother, Nehemiah. And let's get this thing cracked, man. We living in a beautiful time. where he has promised that his due, meaning his doctrine and his teaching, will drop like rain. So we are in those times. This is why you get the Aquarius, right? The Aquarius, what is the Aquarius? What is a symbol? Pouring out water. So he says his doctrine drop like the dew, drop like rain. You see? This is where they get it. But they don't want to give no praise, no acknowledgement. And that's all praise is. It's just acknowledge. Acknowledge the one that's feeding you intellect beyond your comprehending. That's all. That's not hard to do. If you don't have ego, that's not a hard thing to do. To recognize that it is he that teaches you wisdom, for that is his wife, and knowledge and understanding. So, that being said, let's identify the one who have set it off. Who is the one that made the oath? So we're going to do this, right? We're going to go in the King James Bible. And I'm going to go to Genesis 26. I'm going to go to Genesis 26 and 3. And it reads, sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath, and I will perform the oath. I will perform it. Let's look at the definition of perform. Right? Let's peep that real quick. What does perform mean? Diggy's forever texting me on nothing. Carry out, accomplish, or fulfill an action. Execute, bring about, bring of, put on, present, mount, act, represent. A form of entertainment to an audience. A form of entertainment, I think that was the best one, to an audience. Right? So he says, I will perform this oath. So now let's do this. Jeremiah, go to Jeremiah 11:5. And this is what it reads. Jeremiah 11:5. That I may perform the oath which I have sworn unto your fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, as it is this day. Then answered I and said, so be it, O Most High. So let's go up to 4, right? Let's see. Or should I start? Start at 3. And say, verse 3, Jeremiah 11, verse 3. And say thou unto them, thus says the Most High Power of Israel, cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant, which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt from the iron furnace, saying, obey my voice and do them according to all that which I commanded you. So shall ye be my people, and I will be your power. So being aware of what time we are in right now, it's all about what you can relate to, right? And being diligent and being aware just what time we are sitting in. What story or doctrine relates to your reality? That's kind of like the best way that you can find or identify with truth, to identify what is fugazi, what is staged, what is being copied, propaganda, and what's authentic, what's organic, right? Because the Most High words and his promises are organic. They're not staged. He don't have a gimmick, none of that. So most don't understand that it's two doctrines going on. So you go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Oh, that's not the book of Ecclesiastes, right? Eight and 2, Ecclesiastes 8 and 2 reads, I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that in regard of the oath of God, and that in regard of the oath of God, right? I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment. What was his commandment? What was the oath? What was the covenant? Because they all coincide. They all are saying the same thing, which basically is the law, right? So Genesis, remember, perform. He said in Genesis 26:3, when he tell Abraham, I will perform this to your seed, meaning to an audience, right? I want you to think about Jacob and his house. So you go to Genesis 45. Or Genesis, let me take you to Genesis 50 and 25. And then I'm going to go to Genesis 45, and then I'm going to come back here. So I'm going to start at Genesis 50, verse 22. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 110 years. And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the third generation. The children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were brought up upon Joseph's knees. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and God will surely visit you and bring you out of his land, out of this land unto the land which he sware to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Right? So, what does this sound like right here? This is an oath that's being taken. What most do not understand, because it was clearly manipulated. I put a post up on the book saying, hitting you with a parable, you must first be able to know truth in order to manipulate the truth and turn it into and disguise it as false. You have to know of truth in order to manipulate it. You cannot manipulate something that you have no knowledge of. That's why you hear the saying, know thy enemy. Right? Know thy enemy. If you don't have knowledge of your enemy, how would you know his tactics? How would you know how he moved? How would you know his sayings? His whereabouts? How would you know? So that's something to ponder on for the nations to consider. Don't think too hard, because you don't need to. The truth is right there in your face. All right? He's been dealing with the house. The house between the two tribes, the two houses. The world is in a mess because of them. So as soon as I said that, your little sister over here already tried to act up. Come on, man. I said no distractions. Let me get by this smooth. You go your way, I go my way. All right. 25. And Joseph took an oath. There you go. And Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. So let's go. Now we're going to go to Genesis 45 and 4. I'm going to keep pounding this, nailing this down until it is just that you can't even see the nail no more. You can't tell that it was nailed. Okay, this message just permanently stamped, branded in your brain, because it is the truth. It is the truth. It is the Most High's doctrine, not man's. All right. Genesis 45 and 4. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved nor angry with yourselves that ye sold me here. For power did send me before you to preserve life. Power did send me here before you. He's talking to an audience. He's talking to the brethren, the house of Jacob. Okay? Power did send me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years have the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And power sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. Was he talking to anything worldly? You fooling yourself if you think that he was only talking anything worldly. That was already covered. He was the governor. Once again, Pharaoh was not greater than Joseph if he was the governor over all the land. Pharaoh was only great in his little cave, in his little house, in his temple. What is a temple to the entire land? It's time for this to start operating. That's like you saying right now, oh, the president, he the one that called the shots. It's not the government. It's not the governor. It's the president. You know how stupid you sound? You know how ignorant you sound. We must come out of stupidity. That's step number 1. Thinking that we running with a doctrine that was never told. No, y'all still running with the same doctrine. Because you refuse to see the truth in plain sight. And God sent me before you to preserve a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. When he's talking about saving lives, it is not talking about saving your flesh. This, okay, if it goes, what is your spirit? What is flesh and what is spirit? Is your flesh considered life? Oh, I'm going to save your flesh. That's a great deliverance to the Most High. I'm going to save your flesh. Think about it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna save your. That's the great deliverance. Is saving your flesh. Is that man's way, or is that the Most High's way? Did the Most High have man build hospitals? Was the Messiah going around? Was the prophets going around building hospitals to preserve life? Once we understand as a people what bondage is and what sin is, then you will understand these things. Like the great prince said, yes, like the great prince said, the true Messiah, Michael, like he said, how can I tell you of heavenly things when you do not understand earthly things? This is what we must come into the acknowledgement of what the Most High cares about and what man care about. Man care about saving your life in the flesh. The Most High cares about your soul, your spirit. He don't give a damn about no flesh, fool. He can care less. It means nothing to him. So, let's go on and get a better understanding of what he was saying to the foundations of the world. So now, it was not you, verse 8. Listen how he's speaking. You does not sound like the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So now, it was not you that sent me here, but power. And he had made me a father to Pharaoh. So how is Pharaoh? He just let you know. How is Pharaoh over Joseph when he just told you the Most High just had me son? I just sonned him. He's my son now. I just sonned him. I humbled him. He's my son. So how is Pharaoh over Joseph? Y'all, please make sense of that. Read the scripture in context. Don't make up your own man-made doctrine. Do not lead unto your own understanding. Don't do that. Because you're tripping yourself up like you got clumsy feet. You can't walk straight. So you're just tripping up all over yourself. He says, he had made me a father to Pharaoh and Lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Egypt was way bigger and larger because they was conquering countries. They was conquering continents. The empire of Egypt was the vast of the world. Of the world, Craig. So when he's saying he made me what? Ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. It's not that little Egypt they didn't told y'all fools what it was. You've been lied to. Get over it and come to truth. Get over it. Everybody and their mama been lied to. Color has nothing to do with it. They don't give a damn about no. Your enemy give nothing. They can give two shits about if you're black or white. They know the end game is all about the spirit, not about your damn color. Haste ye, verse 9. Haste ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, thus says thy son, thus says thy son. Who is he talking like now? He just gave away his, come on, man. Can you hear how he's talking? Do you hear how he's talking? Thus says thy son, Joseph. Thus says the Lord. Thus says the Lord. What other prophet spoke in this mannerism? You let me know. Did David speak like this? Did David say, thus saith David? Did he speak like this? Did your Jesus in the New Testament, did he speak like this? Or did he always say, this is not my doctrine, but the doctrine of my Father? These words are not mine, but the words of my Father. Thus says thy son Joseph, power had made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not. Verse 10. And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou hast. And all that thou hast. Thou shalt come near unto me. And there will I nourish thee. For yet there are 5 years of famine, lest thou and thy household and all that thou hast come to poverty. So, and most would think like, yeah, this is the great deliverance that he was talking about. This was great to him of what he already had. Got to come out the flesh, man, to understand the teachings and the words of the Most High. 45. All right. Now we're going back to 50. And I'm going to hit y'all with a bomb. Verse 25. And Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, power will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So let me go to the precept it gives you in here. Just Exodus 19 and Salaki 13 and 19. Exodus 13 and 19, where it reads, and Moshe took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, the oath, Power will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. Okay. So let's go. We're going to come back to this Exodus 13. But let's go to Acts. Let's go in the book of Acts. In the book of Acts 7, verse 16. Seven and verse 16. And where I'm going to start at is 13. I'm going to go on down. And at the second time Joseph was made known to his brethren, and Joseph's kindred was made known unto Pharaoh. Then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him, and all his kindred 70 souls. So Jacob went down into Egypt and died, and he and our fathers, and were carried over into Shishak, and laid in the sepulchre that Abraham brought for a sum of money of the sons of Emor, the father of Shishak. But when the time of the promise drew nigh, which power has sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt, till another king arose, which knew not Joseph. Do you understand? What would be the significance of the precept telling you? I'm going to read it again, because this go over many of our brothers and sisters' heads. But when the time of the promise drew nigh, which God had sworn to Abraham, the people drew and multiplied in Egypt, till another king arose, which knew not Joseph, which knew not the ways, which knew not the law. Because what did he say? He made him Lord over all of Pharaoh's house. He even made me a father unto Pharaoh. What do you mean by that? To Pharaoh's sons and his generation. They will be taking orders from me, just like their father is doing right now. Like father, like son, except you had some of Pharaoh's sons that wasn't vibing with that. No, they was of was of the ancient pharaohs of old that had that big gigantic ego on them for their people, right? And says, there's no way in hell there's going to be a Hebrew teaching us the right way. I don't care what he's showing. I ain't feeling that. I ain't feeling that shit. I'm not feeling that. So, till another king arose, which knew not Joseph, which knew not the laws. which knew not the commandments, because he also showed them unto the Gentiles. Yes, he did. So no one is left without an excuse. No one. So you got that, right? But let's hearken on what Exodus 13 and 19. I'm going to go up to 18. But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness, the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up, harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moshe took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, Power will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones whence away with you. All right. So to show you what they did, Shalom, got the King Dash of Judah in the building. You see what that say? Sacred, 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 sacred text. The sacred text, right? And you already know, boy, been all through this thing right here. So look, what is it? What are the things that they hide so dearly, so hard? They hide it so hard. It's ridiculous how bad they hide it, y'all. It's ridiculous. But look, even in here, it even gives you the precept just to know, just to let you know. Just where I was reading from, this right here, where my finger is at, tells you Exodus. You see that? Exodus 13 and 19. Oh, I think that's a coinkydink. So let's start from there. The statement of Exodus 13 and 19, according to the Haggadah, is not to be understood to mean that nobody in Israel except Moshe thought of taking care of Joseph's remains. But on the contrary, all the Israelites, mindful of their duty toward Joseph, thought to honor him best by allowing their great leader Moshe to take charge of the body of their dead leader. What? Of their dead leader. What I just read? What did I just read in Ecclesiastes 8 and 2? Oh, told y'all was in trouble, man. Y'all knew this day was coming. Y'all knew this day was coming. Y'all knew it was coming and didn't give a damn. Did it anyway. So look. Let's go there. Ecclesiastes 8 and 2. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment. The king's commandment. And that in regard of the oath of God. We're going to get there, right? We're going to get there, right? He says, thought of taking care of Joseph's bone remains, but on the contrary, are the Israelites mindful of their duty towards Joseph, thought to honor him best by allowing their great leader Moshe to take charge of the body of their dead leader. So as he's a leader to all the house of Israel who who would he be? Every tribe knew who was the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, meaning it started it from their fathers, the foundation of the world. All right, passed down from what? Generation to generation. Similarly, can't say that right now. When Israel subsequently entered the Holy Land, the descendants of Joseph did not think that the burial of their ancestor concerned only them, but saw to it that the entire nation participated. You see that? Why? Why they feel like, hey, his kids, that don't mean all this on us. He take care of y'all. He took care of y'all even more than he took care of us. That's in the Testament, where Simeon stated that. And y'all gonna sit up here and act like y'all know who he is and what he done did for y'all? No, y'all gonna play y'all part too. This has always been the reoccurring thing between both the houses. So let's jump down. Just jump down. I don't want to give y'all too much, man. Blow your head up. Most can't take. I'm gonna get right to it. Moshe took Joseph's bones and wrapped them up in a sheep's skin. Moshe took Joseph's bones and wrapped them up in a sheep. Sheep. What is a sheep? The lamb? A lamb? The lamb? And a sheepskin upon which the name of God, Lamb, God, Lamb, God, Lamb of God. Oh, sheepskin upon which the name of God was written. The dead bones in the skin then came to life again. Okay, the dead bones in the skin then came to life again, and assuming the form of a sheep, it followed the camp of Israel during the wanderings through the wilderness. And assuming the form of a sheep, it followed the camp of Israel during the wilderness during the wanderings through the wilderness. As to Joseph's virtues enumerated in the text, and then it goes on. So I just wanted to point that precept out in this book that they made very difficult for us to get. for a reason, just gave you the identification of the Lamb of God. All right. So now we understood in a deeper sense with the bones. This is what he mean by he purchased. He purchased. You know, and in a sense, you can say like, yeah, he purchased by blood. Yeah, by his bones. You were purchased. All right. That's how deep. That's how deep his love, and that's only a little bit. That's how deep his love goes for his people and his children. So in the Bible, where it's telling you where his bones is being carried and everything like that, now you know how it was being carried. And it wasn't, like it said, like the text that I read just said, it was not just Moshe. Everybody contributed to carrying Joseph's bones. That's how they honored him. Their leader, their dead leader. That's how they honored him. He was the king. So let's go through a couple more of the oath. This is part one of like a 3-segment that I want to do. And what I had in mind was the oath, heavens and the earth, and the Son of Man. And probably not in that order, but those are the 3 segments that are going to work in unison with precepting, all saying the same thing. What the hell? Deuteronomy. Okay. Deuteronomy 7:7. I'm going to start there. And the Most High did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Maker loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, it just told you that he has sworn unto your fathers. So what did it say back there? Let's catch him up. That's how you catch them up, by words. By words, y'all. That's how you catch them up. The oath that he has sworn. So you go back to Exodus 13 and 19. That's how you catch them up. This is how you know who's speaking. So through thy precepts, most high power, I get understanding. 13 and 19. What does it say? And Moshe took the bones of Joseph with him, for he has straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, okay? So bam, you go to Deuteronomy 7 and 7. In 8 now, where it says, but because the Most High loved you, and because he loved, and because Salakia, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers. See, just told you who the Lord is. He just told you who the Most High is. So our power, right? Our God, our power, our Elohim came down himself to perform in the flesh the oath. Okay, which he has sworn unto your fathers. That's what it's telling you here. Not what I'm saying. I can't be making up my own doctrine. I'm just precepting. Which he has sworn unto your fathers, had the Maker brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Okay. Know therefore that the Most High thy power, he is God, right? The faithful power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. This is why right now, once again, we are talking of who? Joseph, the one who performed it in the flesh, the real King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All hail Yehoshaphat. So another episode can take you to the precept is in the book, of course, of Joshua. And we go to Joshua 9, verse 18 on down. And it reads, and the children of Israel smote them not. Well, let's go up to 17 or 15. And Yahushua made peace with them and made a league with them to let them live. And the princes of the congregation swear unto them. Who is this them? We're going to see. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days after they had made a league with them, that they heard that they were their neighbors, and that they dwelled among them. And the children of Israel journeyed and came unto their cities on the 3rd day. Now their cities were Gibeon and Chi-Hira, and Beeroth, and Kirjath Jearim, Kajothrai, Kerjothraim, Ajaraim, something like that. Don't hold me to that. And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had sworn unto them by the most high power of Israel. And all the congregation murmured against the princes. So we see what's going on. Who did he make the oath with? But all the princes said unto all the congregation, we have sworn unto them by the most high power of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. This we will do to them. This we will do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us because of the oath which we swear unto them. You see? It's about that oath. What was the oath? What was the oath? So this is part one. I'm saying, might come back with some more edification. Thinking about what to go and deliver next. Most High willing, I will be able to. But it's between the Son of Man. Who is the Son of Man? In heaven and earth. Right? Heaven and earth. Both houses. But I believe we got a pretty good understanding of who performed the oath. Right? I think we got a pretty good understanding of who performed the oath. So, that being said, hope this lesson was edifying. Have my two brothers in here rocking with me, man. The house of Yosef, the house of truth. I appreciate y'all presence, man. Y'all taking time out y'all day to get this food. This food. And so that being said, much love to the squad, to the house, much love to the children of the true and living power. He has turned his face, y'all. This is what my beloved brethren, me and my beloved brethren are trying to do. This is the only reason, me personally, feel like why I am here, is to announce the coming of the true King. Okay? That's what time we in now. This is what he's promised all throughout Isaiah. Okay? He's coming back for his people and definitely for his children. That being said, all praises to him, all praises, glory, and honor goes to Mom, Holy Spirit, the Torah, from whom we serve. And honor and just acknowledgement goes to the big brother, man, that's always watching, always keeping us straight. Michael, the great prince, the true Messiah, the true Messiah, the true son. Okay, Michael. That being said, I love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate it. Until next time, this is Brother Nehemiah. I hope this lesson was edifying. The oath. The oath. We must perform it. We must perform it. Shalom. Shalom.